Welcome to the Florida Health Finder webinar. Before we begin, let's go over the audio instructions on your screen. If you would like to ask a question at the end of the webinar, there are several steps that you do need to follow. Everyone should have a control panel on their screen that looks like the one shown here. Once you find your control panel, you need to locate your audio PIN number. This is a number that's located right beneath your access code on your control panel. Each listener has their own unique audio PIN number, and so once you find that number, enter that number on your telephone keypad and press pound. Now there are two ways to ask a question. You can text me a question here on your control panel. There is a small text box. If you type a question and send that to me, I will see your question on my screen. If you would like to speak with me, you will need to press the small button with a picture of a hand on it that's on the side of your control panel. And when you press that button, your name will light up, and I'll know that you have a question. You can also send me an email or call me after the webinar, and this is my direct email and phone number. I'll bring this back up on the screen again at the end of the webinar. So here we are on the home page of Florida Health Finder, and I like to begin with a little history about the Florida Health Finder website that will help you get a sense of what this website is all about. Florida Health Finder is maintained by the Agency for Healthcare Administration, or as many people know us, AHCA, A-H-C-A. AHCA is a state agency in Florida that's primarily responsible for three aspects of healthcare. The first of these is Medicaid, and when many people think of AHCA, they automatically think of Medicaid. The second is licensing healthcare providers in Florida, and there are about 49,000 healthcare providers that are currently licensed by AHCA. Now this includes facilities such as hospitals and nursing homes, as well as providers like hospices and home health agencies. And the third task that AHCA is responsible for is collecting information about the providers that we license and then disseminating that information to the public. And it's that third task that Florida Health Finder is all about. Now the home page of Florida Health Finder is very easy to navigate. Right here in the middle of the screen is a link to our most popular tool, and that's the Facility Provider Locator tool. That's the white button you see here. Beneath that tool are the comparison tools, and these include tools that allow you to compare assisted living facilities, health plans, home health agencies, hospitals and ambulatory surgery centers, nursing homes, and then the Medicaid health plan report card. There's also some information here about physicians that I will show you in a moment. In the middle of the home page is a link to Florida Health Price Finder, which is another tool that allows you to compare pricing on conditions and service bundles. And beneath that is our prescription drug price comparison tool. On the right side of the screen are more links, again, to that Facility Provider Locator tool, links to inspection reports and final orders, and then a link to our new provider owner dashboard. If we scroll down, we can see a link to additional resources for consumers, health education, and researcher data. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see contact links for the agency. So now let's take a closer look at each one of these tools, beginning with the Facility Provider Locator tool. Now to do this, first I will click the white button here in the center of the screen, but you can also click up here at the top of the screen where it says Locate, or on the right side of the screen where it says Locate Facilities or Providers. So there are several ways to access this tool right on the home page. I'm going to click the white button here, and this takes us to a second choice, which is to search by facility type or to search by proximity to a specific location. I'm going to choose the first option, search by facility type. And this takes us to the search tool, and you can see many menu options here. The very first drop-down menu allows you to select what type of provider you want to search. And this is a complete list of all of the 34 licenses that are issued by ACA. I'm going to select nursing home. And then next you can see additional filters such as license status. You can search for open or closed facilities, name, street address, city, zip, county, and you can search for more than one county at a time by following these instructions on the screen. ACA number, field office, license number. Affiliated individual or entity is a really neat option because you can put the name of an individual here in this box and then search for licenses on which that name appears. Then profit status and current emergency actions. There are also advanced search options. Now to view these, you need to click the small gray triangle on the right side of this turquoise bar. So we'll click that. And this expands a second menu. And this menu will change depending on the type of license that you select at the top. Since I selected nursing home, we can see nursing home related filters such as, does this nursing home offer adult daycare services? Is it a continuing care retirement community? Are there bankruptcies on file? What bed type you might be looking for? Gold Seal Award recipient, and I'll explain what that is in just a moment. Languages spoken, you can search by specific license statuses, by what payment forms they accept, and this includes the ability to search for a nursing home that accepts VA benefits or Medicaid or Medicare. And then religious affiliations, special programs or services, and this is a mix of therapeutic and recreational. So you can see yoga in here and weight training, as well as does this nursing home have the ability to accept a ventilator-dependent patient or a patient who needs an Alzheimer's secured unit. So you can search and filter for nursing homes using any of these options. And then watch list information, and I'll also get into that in just a moment. So let's just do an example search with this tool. I am going to search for nursing homes by city. So I'll go to the city box and I'll put in Orlando. And you can see Orlando comes up and I click on that. Scroll down a little bit and then click the red search button. And this is what a results page will look like using the facility provider search results. In the first left column, the names of all of the nursing homes in Orlando are listed alphabetically. In the second column, type refers to the type of license, and since we selected nursing home, that's the only type we'll see here. Then you can see columns for their street address, city, state, zip, phone number, and licensed beds. This is not a comparison tool, and so in a moment you will get to see what a nursing home comparison tool looks like. The facility provider locator just lists the results in alphabetical order. But this includes all of the 34 license types that ACA issues. All of those are searchable with the facility provider locator tool, which is why the tool is so popular. Now, with your results page, you have several options. You might choose to print this page just as it is using the embedded print button. Or you can export your results to Excel using this Export to Excel button. Now I'll click that and show you what that document will look like. Let's open that up. And this is what you'll see. There's a lot of additional information that will populate in these pre-filled cells in this Excel document. So you can see just with a few clicks an Excel document that includes all of the license numbers, license expiration dates, and facility information for all of the nursing homes in Orlando. And this is a really handy tool to know about if, for example, you are an administrator responsible for several nursing homes and for keeping those licenses current. Well, this is a way that you can quickly generate a list of all of your nursing home facilities, all of those license numbers, and those license expiration dates so that you know when it's time to renew. I'll scroll over and show you. You can also see information such as who the owner of this nursing home is, how long they've been the owner. You can see who the administrator and CEO is, license status, number of beds, even a link to their web address. So the Export to Excel button is a really great feature to know about. Now you can also look at each of these facilities individually by clicking on any of the names you see here. I'll click on the very first one, Adventist Care Centers, Cortland. And this takes us to the facility's profile page. Every provider licensed by ACA has a profile page on Florida Health Finder, and the information on this page is updated every single night. The information on a profile page includes the provider's street address or mailing address, a link to their website, a list of any emergency actions, and then administrative information. So who is the administrator, financial officer? There's a drop-down menu showing the controlling interest. So we can click this red cross, and then we can see the names of the board members for this nursing home. Then we can see their profit status, the number of licensed beds, and the bed types, their license number, and then their license effective date and expiration date. All of that is listed here on the profile page. And then there are links to their inspection reports, inspection details. I can click one of these to show you where this will take us. So I'll click Inspection Reports. And this takes us to the agency's main website, aca.myflorida.com. This is where inspection reports are housed online. And we can see right away 7 pages of inspection reports just for this provider. So we can click the blue button here to select any of the reports that we'd like to look at. If I click a button, you can see what comes up on the screen. So this is what you're looking at, an actual scan of that inspection report. Many people do not know that this information is available to the public and is out there. This is where you can find it on the home page for this provider. Now, if we scroll down the profile page, we can also see information about what services and what fees are associated with this nursing home. So we can see the current daily rate of a semi-private room, the occupancy rate, and then answers to some of the filters that we saw on the original search screen. For example, what languages are spoken here? What payment forms do they accept? What special programs and services are available? And then there is an emergency power plan summary shown here on the profile page. So you can see their on-site alternate power source, the emergency power supports, implementation, and additional information about their emergency power plan. And at the bottom of the profile page, there are links to legal actions associated with this provider. Now, what this includes are legal actions that arise between ACA as the licensing entity and the provider. And there are cases listed here, and you can click the case number, which is a hyperlink, and that will take you to a scanned copy of the final order. I'll click one and show you how this works. So clicking the very first case, we're back at the agency's web page again, aca.myflorida.com. And we can click that blue select button. And we can see now on the screen a scanned copy of that final order. So again, if you didn't know that this information is out there and is available to the public, now you know where to find it, which is on the profile page for a provider on Florida Health Finder. So now back on the provider profile page, let's scroll up to the top and click the red Florida Health Finder logo, because this is a shortcut to the home page, and you will see me use that shortcut several times today. So back on the home page, we've looked at the facility provider locator. Now let's scroll down and take a look at the comparison tools. You saw the list on the facility provider locator tool of all 34 license types that are available on Florida Health Finder. 5 of those license types have their own dedicated comparison tools. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that includes assisted living facilities, home health agencies, hospitals, ambulatory surgery centers, and nursing homes. So let's take a look here at the bottom of this list at the nursing home comparison tool so that you can get a sense of how this tool is different than the facility provider locator tool search for nursing homes. So to use this tool, we'll click nursing homes here at the bottom, and then click the white button that says compare inspection ratings. But just before I do that, I'd like to point out the nursing home specific education links that are available here, because many people have questions about long-term care, especially if you are new to this process and you're trying to select a facility for yourself or a loved one. There are links here to answers to questions that ACA receives about this process, and these are great resources, so I like to point those out. And then next in the middle are agency resources, and this is where you can see links to the Gold Seal facilities and then the nursing home watch list, and I'll explain now what that is. Gold Seal facilities, and I'll click Gold Seal. Gold Seal is a distinction that ACA bestows on nursing homes who consistently perform to the highest standards on their inspections. And this is a list of all nursing homes in Florida that have received a Gold Seal facility. And so right now, if we click any of these providers, Alpine Health, I'll click the very first one. On a profile page for a provider that is a Gold Seal facility, you can actually see a Gold Seal. So there's no mistaking it if you are on a Gold Seal nursing homes page. Now, if we go back to the previous page, we can see right beneath that the nursing home watch list. I'll click that. The watch list identifies nursing homes that are operating either under bankruptcy protection or that met the criteria for a conditional status in the last 30 months. Now, a conditional status indicates that that facility did not meet or correct upon follow-up the minimum standards at the time of an inspection. So when a facility is on the watch list, you can see a complete list of those nursing homes here, which is a long list. And if you click any of the names on this list, for example, Avante at Orlando, when you're on the profile page for a nursing home that's on the watch list, you will see that listed right here under ACA reports. And then you can click watch list information to read details about why this provider is on the watch list. So now we'll click back to the nursing home landing page. And there are links on the right side of this screen to file a complaint. And the first question I usually hear is, who can I complain about? And the answer is any provider licensed by ACA. There are 2 ways to file a complaint. You may enter that complaint online by clicking this link or by calling the number that you will see if you follow this link. And you can file a complaint anonymously if you choose to, or you can provide contact information so that they can follow up with you. Now, to compare nursing homes, we're going to click the white button here in the middle of the screen. And our first step is to choose between inspection ratings or facility profile pages only. So we are looking at inspection ratings today. And I'm going to search by geographic location and then click the red Continue button. And now we see a map of Florida that allows us to continue our search several ways. We can search by region, and this includes the 11 regions that AHCA has the state of Florida divided into. We can search by county, and you can search more than one county at a time. There are instructions here on the screen to do that. You can search by city, name. You can search by special service or by zip code. So today let's search again by Orlando. So we will click city, and in the search box, I will type Orlando. And then click the red View Results button. And so this is what a results page looks like on a comparison tool. At the top, I'll point out the time period. This is for results taken between January of 2016 and June of 2018. And you can see that, again, those facilities are listed alphabetically in the first column. In the next column, it lists which region that includes. And now you can see the facilities compared by all of the measures that you see here. So beginning with an overall inspection score, and then these numbers are broken out by quality of care, quality of life, administration, nutrition and hydration, restraints and abuse, pressure ulcers, decline, and dignity. Now you can see that the numbers are translated into stars. And so what do the stars mean? And we can scroll down to the bottom to see what these stars indicate. So 5 stars means that the facility ranked better than 81 to 100% of facilities in its region. And then all the way down to 1 star. 1 star means that this facility ranked better than only 0 to 20% of the facilities in its region. So keeping in mind that 5 is high and 1 is low, now you can look at that overall inspection score. And you can see here is an overall 3 star, an overall 1 star, an overall 5 star. So that's what it means to be a comparison tool. You can actually see a side-by-side comparison of these nursing homes using this tool. I'm going to go back to the Florida Health Finder homepage again just to point out that there are comparison tools similar to this one for assisted living facilities, home health agencies, as I mentioned earlier, hospitals, and ambulatory surgery centers. Now we're going to take a look at the health plan comparison tool, and I'm going to do that by clicking here on Health Plans. Next, I will click the white button here on the screen that says Compare Health Plans. Click Continue for the disclaimer, and now you can see your options. You can search for health plans in your county. You can look at the Medicaid health plan report card. You can check quality of care indicators. You can see member satisfaction rates for adults and member satisfaction rates for parents and children. Today, let's take a look at health plans by county, and I'll click Continue. And you have a choice here of commercial HMO, PPO, marketplace plans, Medicaid health plans, or Medicare HMO plans. And I will take a look at Medicare health plans and click Continue. And now we need to select a county. From this county search, I will select Duval and click the red View Results button. And this is what we can see for Medicaid health plans. This is for enrollment data current as of December 31st, 2017. You can see all of the providers who participate in Medicaid managed care in Duval County, listed out by plan name, statewide enrollment numbers, and their accreditation status. So now we'll go back to the home page, clicking that red Florida Health Finder logo. And we're going to move over to the middle of the screen now and look at the Florida Health Price Finder website by clicking this red button here. Florida Health Price Finder is another website that's maintained by ACA. And on this page, there are 3 ways to search for pricing information related to healthcare services. You can type a search term here in the white column. You can search visually. If you click this button, you'll see a map of the human body that you can search, or you can browse search terms listed alphabetically A to Z. Today I'm going to search in the text box, and I'm going to search for knee replacement, and then click Enter. And these are the results. There are 8 different results related to knee replacement that we can search on Florida Health Price Finder. I'm going to click the very first one, which is knee replacement. And this is what we'll see. We can see a care bundle overview. And so what is a care bundle is the next question. So a care bundle is a really neat way to present pricing information, because instead of just saying, okay, this is the price of a knee replacement itself, all of the costs that are associated with a knee replacement are bundled together in the price that you see here. So this includes, and I can click Care Bundle Details right here to show you. This includes the office visit with the specialist before the knee replacement, the total knee replacement itself, the outpatient and physical therapy after the knee replacement, and then the follow-up office visit. All of those different prices are bundled together on Florida Health Price Finder. And so if we click local, we can see by entering at the top a location. So right now it's set to Tallahassee because that's where I am located. But I'm going to search and look again at Orlando. Right now there is national, state, and metropolitan area data available on Florida Health Price Finder. Facility level data for cities in Florida will be coming soon. And so now you can see the cost overview here for the care bundle for a knee replacement, the national average, the Florida average, and then the Orlando average. And if you have questions about how the costs are calculated, you can find that here. You can learn more about quality metrics that are used on Florida Health Price Finder, and additional resources such as what to expect from this procedure, what questions to ask, and how to prepare. So back on the Florida Health Finder homepage, we've looked at the Facility Locator tool, we've looked at the Nursing Home Comparison tool, Health Plan Comparison tool, and Florida Health Price Finder. Now we're going to look at the Prescription Drug Comparison tool right here by clicking where it says Prescription Drug Prices. This takes us to another website maintained by ACA, which is myfloridarx.com. Now to use this tool, we'll click the blue button on the screen and select any county in Florida. I am going to pick Hillsborough, which is Tampa area, and select a city. So I will pick Tampa. And now you have the ability to search a list of the most commonly prescribed prescription drugs, and these are listed alphabetically. I am going to pick, let's see, atorvastatin, 10 milligrams, and click search. And this is what we will see for the month of July, which is the most recent month that data is loaded for. You can see the price of this drug at each pharmacy that was selling it in Tampa. Now, this would be the retail price that you would pay if you went in without using insurance, or if your insurance did not cover this prescription. This is what you would pay here. And I want you to notice the range of prices. This is all 30 tablets of 10 milligram atorvastatin. And the price for July ranges from a low of $8.73 at Sam's Pharmacy on North Dale Mabry, jumps to $12.99 at Winn-Dixie, $30 at a Walmart. Let's keep scrolling. $35.95 at Publix, $75.59 at CVS. Let's keep scrolling. $105.99 at Walgreens, $126 at Idell Pharmacy, and the high for that month was $170.92 at Healthwise Pharmacy. Again, 10 milligrams, 30 tablets, same prescription, same city, but a difference of over $160. So perhaps you might end up going to a pharmacy a little bit out of your way using this tool. It might not be the pharmacy that you usually go to, but if you are paying the retail price for a prescription, you can literally save hundreds of dollars by searching your city's pharmacies first on myfloridarx.com. Now let's go back to the Florida Health Finder homepage and take a look over here at the right side of the screen, beginning with the doctors and specialists. Now, this sometimes is a little bit confusing for people who visit the website because AHCA does not license practitioners in Florida, so doctors and nurses. That falls under the Department of Health. So we'll click doctors and specialists. You're going to see a list of a description of what we do, what we don't do, and then a link to the Department of Health's website. If we go back, there is limited information, however, for physicians on Florida Health Finder back on the left side under comparison where it says physicians. If we click this, we can then click Compare Physician Volume right here in the middle of the screen. And then click the disclaimer. And what we can see are volume numbers by physician for these procedures, for coronary artery bypass graft, for PTCA, spinal fusion, and then total hip and total knee replacement. So on step 2, we can search either for all physicians or for physicians by name. I'll leave it at all physicians and click Continue. And this is what we'll see. We'll see for 2017, total hip and total knee replacements. You can see the physicians in Florida listed by name, their license number, and then how many of these procedures, hip and knee, that individual physician has performed. Now we'll go back to the home page, clicking Florida Health Finder. Looking at that right side of the screen again, there's a link to facilities or providers, a link to inspection reports and final orders, which now you also know you can find those on the profile page for individual providers. We already got to see that. And then the new provider owner dashboard. This is a new feature, and I'll click this. This dashboard allows you to search for new providers or new owners in Florida of facilities by time period. So we can see by year, by quarter, by months, weeks, and you can search this graph and find those providers that are neither new providers or a new owner. For example, with a change of ownership. So back on the home page of Florida Health Finder, let's scroll down and take a look at those resources for consumers. I'll click this button right here, the little blue file with the cross on it. And you can see some links to file a complaint again here, and then consumer guides. That's the big one that I would like to point out. It's this white button right in the middle of the page, consumer guides. This is a list of guides that ACA offers, answers to the questions that we receive on many of the issues related to healthcare in Florida. For example, a patient's guide to a hospital stay, a guide to assisted living in Florida, end-of-life issues, health and human service programs in Florida, emergency and urgent care in Florida. And then probably the most popular is the Healthcare Advance Directives. I'll click this one. This page explains living wills, designation of healthcare surrogate forms, and organ donor forms. It goes into great detail in explaining in simple terms what these forms are all about. And at the bottom of the page, there are resources and then links to print your own copies of each of these forms. You can print as many as you would like, and they are completely free. If we go back to that list, if you would like to print the whole guide, which I encourage you to do if you yourself would like a copy, or if you work with clients who might benefit from this information, on the right side of the screen is a PDF, and this is a printable version of the guide. It will print much more cleanly than if you try to print the live website page for the guide. And these guides are also available in Spanish. If you click here at the top where it says Aquí, you can see this list in Espanol. So returning to the landing page for consumer guides, for consumer resources, there is also a link here to Medicaid information. Because even though Florida Health Finder is not dedicated specifically to Medicaid, this is a page that people often come to with questions about Medicaid. So if we click Medicaid here, we can see a handy shortcut to many of the links that individuals will need in order to apply for Medicaid, in order to choose a plan, eligibility, the difference between Medicaid and Medicare. That is explained here. And so this is just a really great, simple resource if you need a place to find all of the links, web links, phone numbers, and so on for Medicaid resources. I'll click the logo and return to the home page. So we were looking here at the resources for consumers. Health education, this is another section where you can learn about conditions, about symptoms and procedures related to healthcare. And then researcher data. I will click here. Even though there is a lot of information on Florida Health Finder, researchers and professionals in particular sometimes need very specific data related to a specific part of healthcare. And so to obtain that information on Florida Health Finder, we have a dedicated section here for researchers and professionals to search data. The first link, and the one here in the middle of the screen that says Order Data, I'll click first. And this takes you to a page where you can actually order special orders of data. And this explains the general information, what quarter, what reporting we're in, the date of certification status, and links to certified data reports, and so on. If you have questions about ordering data, about a special order for data, this is the individual that you need to contact. Arlene Schwann. She is the expert who can answer your questions, and her phone number and email are right here on Florida Health Finder. So we'll go back to the researchers and professionals page. And there are additional resources, reports and guides, quick data summaries here, research studies and reports. And where it says search, this is where the most complex tool, I think, and one of the most interesting is located on Florida Health Finder. It's a tool that's specifically for researchers and professionals. And what this tool allows you to do, the Patient Data Query tool. The Patient Data Query tool allows you to search 3 types of providers for additional data. So that includes hospitals, ambulatory, or which means outpatient, surgery, and then emergency departments. I will give you a quick peek at what this tool does. There is a separate webinar that just goes into the patient data query tool. If you are interested, I will show you what this is, and then you can decide if you would like to learn more. So let's click Hospital Inpatient Query Tool. And so this is what we'll see on the Hospital Inpatient Query results. There are 2 years of patient data that you can search, 2016 or 2017. I'll pick 2017. And the default settings show us the file number for this hospital, a link to the profile page, which you should remember what that is now, the profile page for this provider, the hospital name. This is every hospital in Florida listed alphabetically. The total discharges for this hospital for 2017, the percent of discharges, the lengths of stay, percent of length of stay, average length of stay, the total charges, the percent of charges, and the average charges for that provider in 2017. Now, but what can you do with this data? Well, you can filter this data. We can see right here at the top in all of the ways that you see here. You can filter this by service type, by patient age group, by gender, principal payer, by the DRG code, and so on. There are many filters here that allow you to query this patient data for hospitals for 2017. So if you're interested in learning more about how this tool works, you can contact me for a separate webinar. And so now we will return to the home page of Florida Health Finder, and that completes our walkthrough of the Florida Health Finder website.